Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blue, and we're back up here with another video. We're gonna go ahead and hit this one from Charlie Kirk. As y'all know, a couple of episodes that we've done, not too many so far, so we're just trying to see, his perspective and stuff like that as he continues to talk to people. We're gonna continue to try to get an understanding of, everybody in this situation and give my, my 2 cents and whatnot. So this one's gonna be, let's see, in Portland, even the Republicans are confused, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and check it out, see what Charlie's viewpoint on whatever the topic is. Let's see.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think your presentation is rather disrespectful.
Why is it? Why? What? How are you?
I'm a registered Republican.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
But I'm not
proud of that. But
there's nothing disrespectful about saying that sentence, though.
No, I think it offends certain people.
But is that my problem?
No. Okay, but here, this is what we're saying is
It's not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, and as someone who is on the right, who goes to school in the middle of the most far left place in the United States, I understand how frustrating it is to stand here and have people be told you're wrong. I've been told I'm pro-lynching, I'm pro-gun, I'm all this stuff. Okay, that is definitely your opinion. I've seen one too many kids die in the last year to agree with that. But
I was a high schooler at cheating.
But anyway, it's just what we're trying to say is we can hold these opinions, but this representation right now, the ICE hat and stuff, there are more people standing back in fear to listen to what we're saying, and I think that is sadly what gives us a bad rep, is that we're not able to have these conversations that you are pushing that are great. But the thing that sucks and what is being in Portland and where it's liberal is that we have to sit and we have to present ourselves in such a high way to even be nearly respected for it that, where all these other people on the left can just go at it and it's considered passion and great conversation, but we can't have it. So that's all I'm saying is that and what she was basically trying to say is your points are valid and it should be heard, but the representation of this sign is causing more people to not want to listen than if you just sat and talked.
That's exactly correct. But here's the problem is that we need to highlight that. If all of a sudden you can't say this sentence and they turn you off, I am illustrating such a cultural cancer that exists.
That I know, and I definitely
you see that, because look, there should be nothing. I have nothing but love for all people, but love does not
demonstrated in that sign to me. In your hat and in that sign, that's
okay. So the hat, I love them because they go after child traffickers who I think should be put in prison forever. And I've known communities that have been cleaned up by ICE. So let me make it perfectly clear. ICE
you also recognize that they tear families apart?
Well, they go after illegal immigrants, sure.
Okay. I'm not sure what the sign is about, but something that I did learn recently, I was watching another YouTuber, which honestly makes sense. Of course, not sure if all the facts are there, but they did mention that when it comes to those that are crossing over the border, let me blow myself up real quick. When they're talking about situations where we have illegal immigrants crossing over the border with children, they are finding that a lot of immigrants, I guess adults, are crossing over with children that aren't theirs, trying to use them as meat shields to get across. So yeah, they're separating those. And then on top of that, the traffickers, they're coming over with the children as well. And I think the point that's always going to be made is that it's not going to be a heavy amount of them. But at the end of the day, it's still happening. Kind of to the point of similar to school shootings. We don't have, when you look at the grand scheme of things of how many people's in America, there's not that many school shootings that happen. But the fact that it's happening, people try to put a stop to it. So it's kind of the same sense. The fact that the children trafficking over the United States is happening. That's why it's good to have these type of situations. But I mean, there's still kind of more nuances to it. But yeah, let's keep going.
That broke our federal immigration laws. I'll get to that in a second. But nothing I say here is it's a misillustration of what I'm saying. Oh, it's incited at hate. Talk to me, have a conversation. But if people are offended by this,
that is why we're having this conversation.
This should not be deemed offensive by anybody. You can disagree with it, but that shows how.
Why should it be offensive? If somebody doesn't identify as male or female, identifies as transgender, or you can say them pronouns.
They can do that, but don't force me to pay for it. And I can also have my own opinion that biologically, chromosomally.
I think that you can hold that opinion and also
yes, exactly. That's what I mean.
Right, but I think you can also respect.
I do respect.
Right, but saying that shows disrespect.
No, it doesn't. That's the whole point. I'm not. So if the sign said,
what's the sign?
As female or male, I would feel offended.
But that's the problem. We become so soft because I don't say I hate transgender people. If I said that, then I would understand your argument. I don't say I think transgender people should be locked up. I didn't say any of that. I simply made a statement of opinion that based on my analysis of biology, this is not even my analysis, biological analysis of reality, this is correct. And what I'm also doing is I'm showing that a simple statement such as this should not trigger people.
Okay, completely off topic. I don't drink coffee. Is this thing right here like a cover to keep it hot? I'm assuming that's what it is because I don't know. I've seen it sometimes, but I don't know what it is. All right, let's keep going. Comment below, please. Let me know.
Because we've moved the goalposts so far in this country, we've become so soft and so weak that if someone makes a Make America Great Again hat on, they think that they're wearing a swastika symbol. And that's wrong. And so for example, to my death, I will defend someone to be able to burn the American flag. It pains me. I think they should be able to do it, and I want to have a conversation with that person. And I would say that's far more offensive than this, but if I said something like, so there's people that are intentionally provocative, okay? There's people that go to campuses that say...
you clearly are, which is not a problem.
No, there's people that...
You don't think this sign in your hat
No, that's exactly the point. If someone says feminism is cancer, there's people that go to college campuses and say that. I'm not going to say their name. This is a very simple statement that's a widely accepted scientific consensus.
That's subjective.
Is it?
This is
You're stating an opinion.
You're stating an opinion, and it might be a like scientific standard for some people, but that doesn't mean that because in your reality this is the truth, that it isn't subjective and that this isn't going to hurt other people.
Okay, I'll say something at the end.
When you show up and you make this statement, that a lot of people, that this might like counteract their very identity.
So two things.
Who's laughing? Don't laugh.
So two things. But you should never not say something based on someone trying to be offended by it. You should only say what you believe. And if that offends someone, so be it. Think very... I'm sorry?
Why in this setting?
Well, because we have nothing but really good conversations and discussions. And I think what makes this country on the verge of going to a place we don't want it to go right now is we're afraid to go to places like this and have these conversations. I'm not. Obviously, I'm in the less than 1% of the consensus here on campus. But isn't that what makes civil discourse so interesting? Like, it's not easy for me to come here and have people say, go to hell, F you, and like, that's not fun.
I really respect that.
Right?
I really, truly do.
It would be like going with I hate a Christianity sign to a church. And that's not easy.
No, and I'm not saying that is, and I really do respect you for doing this and for presenting your opinion, because I think it is important to have civil discourse. Yeah. But I just think that for me personally, when I go into conversations, I try not to offend anybody and to have respect, and I try to state my opinions and beliefs and recognize that those are opinions and beliefs, and that I come with my worldview and my bias and not state things that maybe I believe as facts, because I think that makes me more open to the disc itself than having it be in my
No doubt, and anyone can come and say anything they want to me. That's the other part, and I'm not inciting any hatred towards a specific group of people. That's being wrongly inferred with this statement, and that's the broader point. So let me give you a point. People say, the president says X, Y, and Z, the president does this, therefore he hates this group of people. Let's just take a broad-based example. You may believe that, I'll disagree with that. But when you start to use these logical inferences, all of a sudden you castigate entire segments of the population. So people say, oh, that part of the country, they're all racist.
Give me an example?
Yes, for example, when people say flyover country, they're all racist, or they're slope-headed, or people in Alabama, they're backward thinking. Stuff like that. You hear that on the media every so often. That's such a gross overgeneralization, which happens when you stop talking to people.
Isn't this an overgeneralization?
No, I think it's quite specific. That's the thing. And again, I will defend this, and you could have your own opinion and disagree with it, but that's what makes it exciting, isn't it? That's what it's all about, is I state facts, you state facts, and we have mutual respect without violence. Because violence is all bad. We agree with that. A lot of violence has happened in this city recently because people come at it from hatred positions. I don't want that. Now, there's a difference. I say nothing to provoke people. I say what is true.
I think you say nothing to provoke violence. I think this is to provoke people, to bring people into the conversation.
It starts conversation, but I do not intentionally try to offend. I don't wake up every single day and I was like, I hope I can get people to cry.
Right.
No, that's not my. That's not
no,
my.
I believe you. But I think
That would be very masochistic of me.
Right.
Like I'm trying to get people
Okay,
to
it is
suffer.
you
Like
can
not.
provoke people not violently, but
Cover.
to think and to speak to you, and I think that's what you're
And
doing.
look, you're having a conversation
I
because of
am.
it.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying that's wrong.
Cool.
I'm just saying. Earlier, you said you don't provoke people, but I think this is
Okay. The tactic
not
might
in a
provoke
negative
people.
way.
Okay.
I think generally provoking.
Yeah,
is
I
used
think
in a
I could
negative
agree with that.
way, but I
Yeah,
think
but there are certain people that come to campuses who will say hateful things to try to get attention and push the boundaries of free speech.
Okay. Interesting situation. One of the things I just want to say really quick. Yeah, as I continue to grow older, it seems like we're less able to have conversations. I think that especially like when I used to live in New Jersey, there were plenty of times where there was a Democrat and a Republican that was having plenty of conversations about this policy, that policy, we need to do this or we need to do that and stuff like that. And then it makes sense. But it seems like we're caring less about policies and the things that's going to help America, continue to be the top nation in the world, and caring more about, like Charlie was saying, feelings, everybody's emotions, making sure everybody feels included or whatever the case may be. I don't think that's necessary in politics. Politics should be about policies and how we're have the economics of the America continue to be at a rate that it was previously. Now it's at a point where, okay, now do you disagree with the whole making America great again? Because as if right now on a world view, America's standards as far as like its credit has decreased, which means America needs to get back up to where it was before. So yes, I think the statement kind of stands where we need to make America great again. What that means for one person or another, that could be two completely different things. I know if it was me 2 years ago, my mindset would have been different about what making America great again meant. But now that I'm married, now that I have kids, now that I'm trying to build my family up because I have to take care of my family, yes, I would like for there to be a system in place, policies in place that can assist me. I don't need you to just send me money. I just need you to make sure that it's not difficult and a hassle for me to get money and for me to also lose money twice as quick. But now where it seems like a lot of stuff, especially on the left, is caring about emotions, and it's like, yo, what? Are we serious right now? I don't know. It's a weird situation. And the second part that I wanted to point out is the whole talk about having things being subjective. I don't know. It kind of doesn't, like, I see where she was going with it. But again, with the whole emotions and how people feel, that's subjective, is it not? Science is kind of object. Culture, I mean, there's a culture objectivity that happens, like a conversation that I was having with somebody that I'm pretty sure that she mentioned that she was atheist, and then we were talking about the whole subjective, objective, and verifying the difference and stuff. So when it comes to certain cultures, they have objective moral truths so that they can maintain the culture, which is cool. When you have subjective things, like in this case, she was kind of claiming, the lady here was kind of claiming that science can be subjective. Well, I mean, mind you, this is coming from a Christian. Based off of the data, the supporting data, the repeated samples, you have that sample size to determine, okay, this X plus Y equals Z, and it happens every single time. This is true. This is objective. I don't know, the whole subject. Let's go back to the subjective talk. All right, let's bring it back. Yo, what's going on, everybody? If you reached this far into the video, that means that you are a real one, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you. We reached 500 subs, which is great. Thank you guys so much. And that being said, we're halfway to our goal, which is 1,000 subs. Let's clap it up. So as a token of my appreciation, we're going to be doing a small giveaway once we hit the goal. But do know that as this channel continues to grow, the giveaway amount is also going to grow. But more details is going to come later on. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like, subscribe so you can be part of this great community of living one Geta. Let's go ahead and get back to the video.
Whole statement that's a widely accepted scientific consensus.
That's subjective.
Is it?
This is
you're stating an opinion.
You're stating an opinion, and it might be.
So it's an opinion that the science was proven, or the science showed enough data to validate the theory. That's subjective, is what she's saying.
It might be a scientific standard for some people, but that doesn't mean that because in your reality this is the truth, that it isn't subjective.
in your reality that this is the truth. That's the other interesting thing about this whole is making it seem like everybody has their own reality. No, that can cause issues because in Charles' reality could be very different from my reality. I don't think it's more so reality is not the best word. I think the best word is experience, not reality. And somebody else's experience, something like whatever is being said may not be true, which is fine, but that doesn't mean that it's false. You see what I'm saying? So prime example, I'm going to say this last thing and then that's going to be it. So let's say in regards to the border. Okay, so I live in Georgia, right? We don't have no border issues. I don't see a surplus in any Hispanics or anybody that came from the border. There's no facilities that's being dismantled because of they're trying to make way for, you know, a whole bunch of immigrants to come in and they got to sleep there. There's no money that's being filtered in so that they can have, you know, some type of chump change in their pocket and stuff like that so they can do whatever they want. I don't see that in Georgia. So to me, when somebody else comes to me from, let's say, New York or Chicago or Texas, and they say, yeah, immigration is getting crazy. There's a whole bunch of immigrants that's coming. There's a whole bunch of foreigners that's coming into the States and they're kind of taking up everything. The government is giving them way more than the people that actually live there, the poor people that need the money, the poor people that, you know, don't have much food. They're giving all the food supply to them and it's messed up. I can say, well, that doesn't happen here, which is true. It doesn't happen here because this is my experience in Georgia. I don't see that because that part is true for me because that's my experience. That doesn't mean that the guy from New York, from Chicago, from Texas, their experience is false. Just because my experience is true for me doesn't mean that their experience for them is false. There is a bunch of migrants that's coming in. That's shown as fact. Over 1 million migrants have come in within the last couple of years. That is fact. There are states like New York, like Chicago, that are taking down schools, taking down rec centers, and sending the pantry that's normally for the community, giving it to these immigrants. That is also fact. So just because I'm not experiencing that doesn't mean that that's not a reality. And that's what's happening here. She's saying that to somebody else, that's somebody else's reality. What you're saying could be false. No, that's not how that works. To somebody else's experience, they may feel different. At that point, it is their opinion, but that's not reality. That's not how reality works. Interesting video nonetheless. I don't know. Things are weird in the world right now, especially with the election rolling around, but we'll see how things goes. If y'all like the video, go ahead and comment. Let me know what y'all think about the situation, whatever subjective and objectivity that you got going on. Being able to say stuff freely, how things are, I don't know, but let me know. Y'all take it easy. Peace.